Hello. I wanted to share how I think that it is very that it is better and beneficial to have various sources of information when you're on your journey of personal development. Because I've seen a lot of videos about personal development, and I find that they don't talk so much about this. I haven't watched a lot of videos talking about this, but what I found to be really super beneficial is to read about a wide range of topics and to also watch a wide range of like videos on the internet about different topics. So right now I mostly read on the law of attraction or metaphysics and maybe esoterical stuff, but I find it also super um, just very good to read about. Really, I try to read about plenty other stuff like psychology, nutrition, science, success stories, fiction. I love fiction. I like thrillers, even if I don't read a lot of them. And what more? And like really different topics. And I've also like watched or read on the internet. Like I've watched a lot of videos from different YouTube channels, and I also read different blogs. And I find that this is so enriching because you've got the perspective, the incredible perspective of people who spend their lives really growing and who share it. And I see that every time the perspective is different because the person is different, and there's something that I can learn from that new, that really particular perspective. Because I've had there's a blog that I love, for example, is Steve Pavlina's blog, which is amazing, and I could only read that on the internet and just like all the rest go because it's so good. But I found that even if I have loved this one, it's better for me to read also about a bunch of other stuff. And so, what it has done for me to really force myself to read different things and listen to different people was to have, first of all, have an open-mindedness, so not close myself to like to things because all of a sudden, because when for example when you read about esotericism or metaphysics, then you can think, well, all the stuff that doesn't talk about this is garbage. Like, for example, the success story of someone who isn't aware that maybe this is an energetical universe and see it really in a materialistic way. Then you can be like, that's how I was. Like, I thought, well, I mean, he knows nothing then, so I won't read his book or something like that. But I've found that this is not the best solution to learn stuff, and that I still can learn from really very different persons. And so I kept an open-mindedness, which is very good. And what it did also is that it enabled me to um, widen or broaden the my I don't know if we say this in English, my horizon of possibilities, or the things I know exist or are possible. And even if I don't apply those things in my life, just the fact of reading about it and knowing that certain things are possible changes my view of the world. And for example, I've read the story of a guy whose site is called Detox Dude. And so he was intoxicated with heavy metals and went through hell because of that during a few years of his life, and then found a way to heal himself. And so now I know that I could even probably have cancer or or feel like in terms of health feel really really bad and come back and be healthy. And before I read his story, that's not something that I knew. So just like reading with reading this story, I it just shifted the way I think about health. Just like one article, just the life of this guy, which I read in a few hours, and I didn't apply anything. It's not like I learned what he said or that I interiorized it or anything, but I feel that it benefited me so much. So I encourage you to really try to force yourself, but maybe not force yourself, but try to read and gather your information from different like meta sources. So people who like transfer information to you, or like directly read books and gather information from really different sources and about various topics. It's like when you have time to do that, it's really beneficial. Peace.